Hi there! I'm Neus from the Ambassador team, Miss Mesa on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. In this video, I'm going to show you 20 super easy ideas to make titles for your bullet journal, your class notes, or your planner. To begin with, we are going to make a title with block letters, and we are going to give it a super easy and quick decoration by making dots around it. I'm going to use 3 colors from my favorite acrylograph pens palette, the Tropical collection. In this first style, I'm going to combine the 3 colors, pink, teal, and orange-yellow, using 1 in each letter to make the word more colorful. Of course, you can use the same color for all the letters or combine the ones you like the most. I have sped up this video because I want to show you a lot of ideas in a short time, but you do it at your own pace and don't hesitate to stop the video if you need to. I'm using the dot grid of the notebook so that all the letters have the same thickness. This way, it's much easier. We finish adding dots to the last letter and move on to the second idea. For this one, I'm going to do faux calligraphy, and I'm going to do it in the central part of the page. To do faux calligraphy, write the word and make it thicker in the descending strokes, by drawing a double line and filling it in, like I'm doing. Again, take your time and just relax yourself. The last letter. Now the cross strokes and the dot. And on the sides, I'm going to draw some flag ends, as if this title was inside of a banner. If you don't want to draw them, you can also use washi tape. If you want a lot of ideas to do this, be sure to watch my video about washi tape ideas also on the Archer and Olive channel. In this third idea, I start drawing letters with some thickness, but just a little, and I'm going to make them a little bit rounded so they are different from the ones we have done before. You can also do it with a thicker marker and a single line. The letters have to be a little apart from each other, so don't make them too close together. Once my letters are drawn, what I'm going to do is, with another color, in this case pink, draw an outline around each letter to give it some contrast. Try to make this line more or less uniform. I am giving it a little bit of thickness, but you could make it thinner or use a thicker marker and make a simple line around it. I prefer to give it the thickness to my taste, and that is why I prefer the 0.7mm marker, but do it as you like, of course. And once finished, I'm going to paint a second outline with my third color, which in this case is teal, and I'm also going to do it in all the letters. This is an easy one, but really colorful. And if you want, you can continue and draw more outlines. In this fourth idea, I'm going to use a fine liner, and I'm going to draw very thick letters. And now I'm going to use my colors to draw some V stripes on the inside of the letters, alternating colors. This style of lettering is super easy, but very pretty and cheerful. Just look at it, I love it. I didn't do magic. This title didn't get recorded, sorry about that, but I'll explain. It consists of making block letters, as we have done in the first title, but rounding the bottom, like this. The easiest way is to draw a semicircle with the pencil and then, starting from the center, go drawing the letters. First the central one, then the 2 on the sides, and then the 2 at the ends, leaving the top straight. Although you could also make it curved if you prefer. We need to draw the letters following the dot grid of the notebook. And then we only have to erase the pencil and it looks so cool. I recommend this especially for short titles. We start a new page with a new idea. Let's draw stars starting from the center. If you find it hard to draw them, maybe this way is easier for you. There is no problem because we are going to fill them in later. In this way. We wait until the paint is completely dry and then we only have to write the letters that form our title. For the number 7, I'm going to draw block letters again, alternating colors, but only the outline. I'm going to use the dot grid of the notebook to calculate the size of the letters so that they are all uniform. The last one. And now I'm going to decorate these letters, drawing a line in the central part, following the shape of each one of them. For the next idea, I start by drawing a slightly curved line with a fine liner, and I will draw small flags alternating colors. I started in the center so that I can better place all the letters, and all the flags are going to be well distributed. Now the other side. I have to wait for the paint to dry well, and I will go over the contours with a fine liner, although this is optional, only if you want to do it. And once this is finished, I just need to write each letter on one of the flags. In this case, I'm doing it with a white acrylograph. We are finishing the spread, and now I'm going to draw the outline of the letters, and these are going to be thick lowercase letters. And I'm going to give a 3D effect with a little shading. I do the same in each letter. These little lines that I do to the 3D outline help me to make it more separated from the background. We could also paint or the front part or the part of the volume. If you prefer, you can do that. And it's a very easy way to have a very cool title, isn't it? For the number 10, I'm going to draw first in pencil a rectangle that will serve as a guide, and I'm going to divide it with diagonal lines. Now what I'm going to do is to fill these spaces of my square, and in this case I'm going to do it using the calligraph pens in the same shades. You can also use more pastel tones for these backgrounds that are going to have letters on top. For this, it will also look very cool to paint each stripe in a color of the rainbow, although I will keep the palette of the rest of the titles. Some pink in here. Just fill it. And once the background layer is dry, I will sketch in pencil the letters that will go on top, and I will distribute them well. And now with the black calligraph, using the small tip, I will draw the letters. If you want, you can also add a stroke as a shadow in white to make the letters stand out more. Or you could also outline it, so it pops. Let's turn the page to show you 10 more ideas. And I'm going to start with a very simple one. I draw the title with lowercase letters, very separated. And I'm going to give a little thickness to the stroke. And once drawn, I'm going to decorate them with some little stars between letters. Very, very easy. Now I'm going to draw block letters again, only the outline. And this time I'm going to decorate them with some dots, but on the inside. Let's see. Just like this. Try to distribute them in a more or less uniform way. This is one of my favorites. I draw the block letters first in pencil, so I can make a volume effect, a 3D effect, in each one of the letters. You're going to see. I'm going to alternate my three colors, making a diagonal and parallel lines to the horizontal lines from each one of the angles. Like if these letters had a volume, following the orientation of this volume. I fill them all well. Let's see. Still one left. You can stop and watch it again if you need it. And now I just have to erase the pencil and improve some of the strokes. And the result is so very cool. At least I love it. I'm starting again in the center to place the letters well. And I'm going to do them with a thin but quite square stroke. In this case, I wouldn't use the thicker marker because I want to have angles in these strokes that I'm drawing. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit thicker to make these angles clearer. You could also do this with thicker block letters if you wanted to. And now I'm going to draw a few lines from each one of these angles at the bottom of the word. So we will have a volume effect, a different volume effect. Like this. For the last title of this page, I'm going to draw serif letters, leaving the vertical stroke part of the letter just outlined. And I'm also alternating colors. We could leave it like that, but I'm going to fill it also with little lines, or if you prefer, you could paint it completely. Let's start the last page by drawing the outline of some thick lowercase letters. I like this style of lettering very much because it is very decorative per se. If, like me, you find it a little difficult to draw on the edge of the notebook, you can use another notebook that has the same height or similar. I'm going to use this beautiful one. And I'm going to decorate this title by filling it, but only the bottom half of the letters like this. You could also combine two colors if you prefer. For my style number 17, and that's 17, I'm going to draw some colored squares. I'm using the dot grid to make them all 5 equal. You can start in the center if it's easier for you to place them this way. I'm filling them all well, and once finished, I will wait for the paint to dry. While it dries, I'm going to draw some decorations on them. I draw some lines and I'm going to make some hanging mobiles with different little drawings at the end of the line. Stars, hearts, moons, flowers, diamonds, a little bit of whatever you can think of. And I only have to write the letters on the squares. For the next style, I'm going to start by drawing in pencil block letters as we have done in several styles. I'm going to raise the line a little bit so that it doesn't show so much. And now I'm going to fill in these letters by painting thicker and thicker lines. One is a little bit thicker, the next one thicker than the previous one, trying to reach from side to side the margin that delimits the pencil. If you want these spaces to be more perfect, you can also draw horizontal lines in pencil, but I already like it not to be so perfect. Once finished, you just have to erase the pencil and finish it if needed. Now I'm going to draw letters imitating balloons. To give them volume, I'm using the calligraph pens to have different intensities of color. I want the outline to be more intense and I'm using a water brush to blend the color of the central part. I'm doing the same with the letter I. I make the outline, take some color from the calligraph with a water brush, and add it to the central part of the letter so that it's not totally white. Instead of taking the color directly from the calligraph, you can use a palette or plastic and unload a little bit of marker to take it with your water brush. This way you can better calculate how much pigment you take with the brush. You can also use the brush directly to blend the strokes you have made in the notebook and mix them well. If you use a normal brush, be careful not to use too much water. The paper of the Archer and Olive notebooks is thick and resistant, but you don't want to puddle it. To better mark the volume, it is very good to go over the outline several times with a marker, and you can always blend it a little bit with the water brush. I finished the last letter and let it dry a little bit. Now I'm going to use the fine tip of the calligraph pen to imitate the knot of the balloon, and with a fine liner I draw the lines that would be the string of each of the balloons. And to finish, a very easy one. I draw a horizontal line with a small end, a little flag that I'm going to fill with my acrylograph, and I simply write my title. In this case in calligraphy, using the small tip of my dear black calligraph. I'm making it a little bit thicker and the last title is finished. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked all these ideas. If they have inspired you and you want to tag Archer and Olive and me in your publications, we will love to see your creations. See you in the next video. Bye!